Since the turn of the century, the Frawley clan have farmed the rich volcanic soil at Bungaree, on the outskirts of Ballarat in central Victoria. Sheep, cattle, horses, and of course, Australia's best potatoes. They're big, strong fellows of Irish stock, proud of their land, proud of their heritage. They might be a touch shy, but when they talk about young Danny Frawley, the praise is certainly well earned. At 23, Danny has resisted the urge to go to the big smoke, to jump in his car and head down the highway to fame and certainly some fortune in the city. The full-time farmer is a part-time footballer, if you can call Captain St Kilda in the VFL's national competition part-time. He's got that ingrained love of the bush, and despite many attempts, none has lured him away from the family's 600-acre farm.
I thought I couldn't leave this lifestyle there. I'd be like a lost sheep.
What's so good about this lifestyle?
Oh, well, you haven't got the hustle and bustle of the city.
Yeah.
And you got the fresh air out here.
It's great, isn't it?
It's unbelievable.
Pretty chilly.
Oh, well, you've picked a bad day. It's usually pretty warm up here. I would miss it for quids.
Plus, you know, your father would need help here on this big property too.
Well, that's right. It takes a fair bit of work. We start digging spuds next week. And that sort of takes 3 or 4 months. Yeah, there's always something to do.
The country life has certainly not restricted the Frawley family's inroads into local sporting law. His dad, Brian, was the world professional 600-yard champion. His brothers run at Stall, and Tony is favourite this Easter over 800 metres. His sister Anne created history by being the first woman to drive in the Inter-Dominion pacing final, and of course, this is Uncle Des. Des Tuddenham, the Iron Man who captained both Collingwood and Essendon. Tuddy, one of the game's most fearless competitors, who played 250 games and was to prove one of Danny's great inspirations. To sit and chat with the Frawleys, you get to understand why, at 23, Danny prefers the home cooking, the warm family life, and the type of environment that is so typical in the bush. Character building stuff, you call it. And it was that very trait that St Kilda looked at when the club appointed Danny as captain this season, replacing their captain of 4 years, Trevor Barker. Frawley's a mean full-back, tough but honest. He's a star on a side that has finished bottom of the pile the last 3 years, winning only 10 of their last 68 games.
Campbell about to shoot towards goal. Campbell goes long into the 10-metre square. Saviour of the Saints is Frawley, the full-back.
At 6'3.5" and just under 15 stone, Frawley is built well enough to handle the pressure. In 65 games, goodness knows he's been under enough. It might be Gary Ablett 1 week, Brian Taylor the next, or Jimmy Edmund of the new-look Brisbane Bears. The Saints tried hard to get him off the farm and have him billet it out, close to the Moorabbin headquarters. He resisted strongly and stayed put at Bungaree. He's got his mates at home, his family, and then there are the horses for which the Frawley family are pretty well noted around the district. Over at Snake Valley, and I kid you not, Snake Valley, Danny and St Kilda champion centreman Greg Burns have got their paces, and some pretty handy ones indeed. Winners at Moonee Valley and Ballarat in the last fortnight, and it isn't unfair to say, winning more from less starts than the poor old Saints. At the Burns family set up at Snake Valley, Greg does the training for the partnership, but both lads are fairly handy drivers.
My father's had horses all his life,
Yeah.
and I decided there's a few horses out the paddock there weren't doing much, so he said to me that I could pick one out, so I picked a horse out and I gave it to Greg here, and she's had 15 starts for 9 wins.
So you've been pretty successful with it?
Yeah, she's done all right.
Back home at Bungaree, the family are preparing for the potato harvest. 80 acres of prime spuds, ready to accompany pieces of fish around the nation, probably wrapped in my footy tips. Just a go at doing one, Dan.
Oh, look. That's it. Oh, look at them.
Oh, look, I went. Oh, geez, I cut one in half.
Look
Look at the sides. That's a good one.
You've got to get underneath them.
There, that's all right.
Look at that.
I'm only learning the trade,
Yeah.
Dan.
Beer all day the way you're digging the bastards.
Once upon a time, there were many footballers who came down to try out in the big smoke. But in these days of professionalism and high-pressure training, that has become part of the past. That's why it's refreshing to talk to a youngster like Danny Frawley, a spud farmer who can kick a bag of his best over the barn from 60 paces. A kid who's proud of his family heritage and not letting anything like fame interfere. He's respectful of his elders. Well, after all, he carried the spud back to my car.